Yeah, yeah, is that what you're doing? Record on computer?
Okay, recording, great. Thanks guys for coming on this training. I'm really excited about this. It's something completely different that we've done before, but it's going to help you so much because it's going to help with your Instagram, your Pinterest and your Facebook and all the other trainings that we've done. So this Canva training is going to help with all of those things to get them up, and like maybe it will help your website and different things like that. So we've got Thea today who's going to be teaching us all about this. So Thea Newcomb. Hi Thea. Please
Hello.
introduce yourself quickly and just before we dive into the training, and just tell everyone a little bit about what they're going to learn today. That'd be great.
Perfect. I will do that. My name is Thea Newcomb. I am Scotland's first Canva trainer, and I'm an official brand ambassador. I'm one of a handful really in the UK. Maybe there's less than 10 of us here in the UK, one of only 2 in Scotland. And basically, I deliver Canva training one-to-one and in groups and staff training and everything. And I basically eat, sleep, drink, and dream in Canva. I'm on it 7 days a week, all day long. And honestly, I've been on it since February of 2014, and I learn new things every week because there really is so much to Canva. I'm super excited to hopefully enthuse you guys with Canva. Some of you will have already used it. Some of you will have never seen it before. So I'm going to try and give something for absolutely everybody here today.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. Okay, great. I've made you host, so I think you can share your screen.
Let's do it. I can. And that's the one I want to share, is the desktop too. Cool. Okay, cool. So I've just got to remember to keep it over there. The camera's up here and the desktop's over there. It's always a little bit confusing when I'm doing these trainings. Anyway.
Images get in the way, don't they? So I've just put them at the top there.
Yeah. So it's 2 different computers here, so we're good wherever it is. But basically our agenda, I'm going to tell you a little bit about what Canva is, who should use it. Spoiler alert, everybody should use it. We'll talk about some of the options. There's the free version, the pro version, there's education, etc. And I'll give you a walkthrough of the homepage, and I'll walk you through the dashboard. Sorry, I got some hair in my mouth. I'll walk you through the dashboard, and I'll give you some shortcuts and some tips and some tricks. And we're going to do a follow-up Q&A at a later date, and I'm super excited to meet you guys live then.
Lovely.
Yes. So can you confirm that you can see my screen okay where it says, what is Canva?
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay, good. So basically Canva is a drag and drop gap. Gosh, easy. Let me just start again. A drag and drop graphic design tool. And basically you can make anything in Canva, from your business cards to books even. You can actually publish books. You create the cover in Canva, the interior in Canva. You could use it for your websites, your social media, your business cards, absolutely everything that you can make in Canva. So again, I mentioned that there's different versions. We'll be looking at the free version today because there is a pro version as well, where you do get a lot more features, more photos, more templates, and so forth. But honestly, I used it for years without ever having the pro account. So don't worry, you don't need the pro account. And I think pretty soon I'm actually going to have a 45-day free trial. It's only ambassadors that have the 45 days. Right now you could get a 30-day one if you can't wait. But anyway, so there's also enterprise, education, and there's the nonprofit. So if any of you are working with nonprofits, you can actually get, or you may be entitled to apply for a free Canva Pro account. So that's maybe something worth noting for some of you. So what we're going to do is we're going to dive in right now to canva.com and take a sip of water, and then we're just going to roll. All good so far, I hope?
Yeah, I can see it. Okay,
perfect. So here we are at canva.com. And this again is in my free dummy account. Normally my training lasts kind of a couple of hours. So we're going to condense it to the real nitty gritty bullet points, things that you need to know. The first port of call, first of all, we have all your designs basically here, so please don't judge, but everything here that you design in Canva stays in Canva. That's pretty handy because it means you could be designing something here in Canva. You could even open up your phone and all your designs will be on your phone, which is kind of what I recommend. I find it easier to design on the desktop or the laptop and then open up the phone and swap out the pictures or the text.
Okay.
So that's
it on Instagram. You need to use your phone, don't you? So you can
I'm gonna give some recommendations of how I do Instagram. That's exactly right. So shared with you again, you can collaborate on designs. Maybe if you're working with somebody and you want to work on some kind of project together, you can share it between yourselves. And then the first port of call, I always say, is the brand kit. Everybody that uses Canva should start here. Day one, if you haven't done this already, you have the option to put in 3 colors. And so in this case, I'm just going to make up my brand kit for today. Your brand kit's obviously going to be the 3 colors from your website or from your logo. Okay.
Oh yeah, I didn't know that. That's good.
Okay, good. So let's pretend, well, yours is kind of, if I had your purple one here, I could actually do it. I can't remember, you're kind of like a darker purple. Let's pretend that that's it. And you had kind of a goldy color. Let's see if we can find a goldy color. Anyway, so let's pretend that this is our gold again. I actually got your colors to do the presentation I made for you. But, and then one other color, again, this will come from your logo or your website or something. But today we're just, in fact, I'm going to go with a really light, kind of light color here, light grayish color. Okay, there's our brand kit. Again, why do we do this, Thea? Well, the reason why we do it is when we get into designing into the editor mode, we will be able to apply our branding colors to everything we do, to the backgrounds that we're using, to the shapes that we're using, the fonts that we're using. It means we're keeping everything consistent across all we do. And you only really ever have 2 or 3 colors in your branding, full stop, because it gets to be too much. 2 or 3 colors and 2 or 3 fonts max on both. So again, free version, you can do 3 colors. If you have the pro version, you can do many more. You can also upload your brand logos here, but don't worry, you can also just upload your brand logos in the free version under uploads. Okay, and also our fonts. If you have the pro version, you can upload a font, but only in the pro version. So once you've set up your 3, you can go to town. I'm not really liking that gold, so we're going to change it just a little bit because that's super ugly. Okay, so here, that's a little bit better. Okay, cool. So now that we've got our brand kit, there's a couple other things. You can create teams here. All your folders are here. You get 2 folders in the free version. I just named mine. You just click on it. You get 2 and you can rename it, and then we could call it, website graphics or something, right? Rename the folder. And then this, our other folder, which mine says my cool client, I'm going to change that to maybe my social media pictures, social media pictures or something, right?
Wow, so we've already got stuff I didn't know here. This is folders.
Oh my gosh, you're gonna love this then.
We can do this.
Wonderful. So anything that you like, okay, I'll show you how to like stuff when we kind of get rolling, but it's here, all your likes. So if you come across a photo you like, save it to likes, and then you can access it once you're in the editor.
Oh, really? You don't have to pay extra for the image?
No. None of these are all free images. Specifically, I found some free ones. Okay.
Free? Are you saying these are free?
These are all free.
Wow.
These are all the free ones. I'll show you a cool little thing later about the photos when we kind of get into it. But yeah, so anything you've liked is there. We could just close it, go back to all our folders. Anything you purchase. Okay, so for purchasing in Canva, if you found a photo you really liked and you couldn't find anything comparable anywhere else, or you couldn't take one yourself, you can purchase a photo or element in Canva for 99 pence. But the problem is if, say, I wanted to use it for my Instagram post, I could pay the 99 pence, we're good to go. But if I wanted to share it on Twitter or Facebook or LinkedIn, then I'm going to need to pay for the multi-license, which is $9.99. And if I wanted to do something commercial with it, we're talking 99 pounds. So to be honest, as you can see, I've never actually purchased anything in Canva photo-wise. I wouldn't recommend it. I would find, there's many places to find photos, and I would either take them myself, do a deal with a photographer kind of thing, or use some of the photo sites. I can actually link in the presentation to some sites if you're looking for some free photos. But so there you go. If I wanted to, I could also upload stuff right here. I'll be honest with you, never done it. I never come here to upload, but you can. I always upload once I'm inside the editor. Okay, so that's that. And then across the top, we have, if we click back on home, we've got basically our homepage, and across the top, again, there's a variety of templates here. There's our social media templates, our personal templates, business ones, even trending. Okay, so you could just click on any of these. So if you wanted to do a YouTube intro, you could click on YouTube intro. And it's going to give us options for YouTube, like thumbnails or intros for your YouTube. And again, once I can either start from blank, from scratch, and build my own, or I can use one of their templates. Okay.
So this is a video. This is a small video. It's going to introduce another video that you've created on YouTube.
Exactly. So like on a starter intro of YouTube. Cool, isn't it? Okay, so we'll go back home. So I always start out by doing all Canva training saying there's many routes to get to the same destination in Canva. And I'll demonstrate a variety of ways that I'm talking about as we go along. But to even get started in Canva, there's many options to go. So I could start by typing in at the very top. I don't even need to type in. I could click the search box. It's already giving me options. Do I want to do a Facebook cover? Do I want to do an Instagram post? You know, do I want to do something with custom dimensions? So say I have a WordPress website and I have a header across the top and it's, you know, 1300 by 300, some random, because often WordPress headers tend to be kind of random. I can actually click on custom dimensions and type the number in, and it'll open a new browser in the right size. Okay, we always want to be using the right size for our websites, for our Facebook, for our Instagram, etc. Okay, so I'll go over a little bit about some of the sizes as we go. But so I could type in, if I wanted to do, let's say I wanted to do a brochure, right? Because maybe I want to be promoting my hats in a lovely brochure. So I get some options of brochure by typing the word brochure. There's medical, not relevant. Real estate, spa, might be somewhat relevant, right? Because again, we can customize everything once we get into it. So again, there's a variety of brochures there. So you could just type in that. The next way to get into the templates, or you could scroll across the top, right? So we have Instagram posts, videos, presentations, logos. Click to the right, there's a little arrow to the right. And then we've got business cards or flyers. Some of you may do flyers to promote your work, right? Resumes, postcards. Again, you could design anything, even pop-up banners. If you actually go to shows and you have a stand somewhere, you might want to create a pop-up banner. So you can design anything in Canva. So that's scrolling across the top. That's the second way. Third way, we can go down the page, right? Facebook posts, posters, logos, presentations, A4 documents, right? Excuse me, just gonna take a sip of water. So everything you see here, don't get put off by the color or the fonts or the graphics, because everything in Canva is customizable. Okay, so don't look at something and go, oh, that's green, that's not my branding color. Well, we've set up our brand kit, so as soon as we click into this Halloween with ghosts, then we can change it to our colors. Okay, does that make sense?
It won't do it automatically then, it will just wait for you and then you just change the colors.
Exactly. So again, there's photos. If I liked that design, I could click on this Instagram story at the far left, and when I open it, I could just delete that photo and put one of my own photos in, right? So again, everything is customizable. Social media, flyers, etc. See, there's 3 routes. It just depends on how your brain is wired. Now, I personally always recommend that my clients create a template, say something like this one here in the middle, or one of these ones here, where we have maybe a bar that has our logo, our social media, and our website in it. And we have that template. We create it for say Instagram. If we do Instagram posts and stories, we have 2 templates, one that's story size, one that's post size. Always on brand with the same colors, the same fonts, the icons, so it's consistent, right? If we're on Facebook, we have a Facebook size template. If we're on LinkedIn, we do, and I'll give you this one in case you're on LinkedIn, 1200 by 628 tends to be a really good photo or picture quote type size for LinkedIn, 1200 by 628. So I would go up to create custom dimensions, and I'd type in 1200 by 628, always with that sort of bar across or where I have my logo or something. So I'm creating them for each channel. So once I've done that, I don't tend to go look at the templates because I just go click into one I've already made. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Okay.
So we're keeping everything consistent and on brand. Okay, so let's pick something. Let's just pick, I don't know, this one's quite pretty. So I go up across the top, I can see the sizes, and then I know 1080 by 1080 is Instagram. It also is saying inspirational.
Oh, that's good. I didn't notice that.
Yeah, so, and I can also rename it right here if I wanted to and call it, you know, picture quote or picture. I would actually probably say, I tend to say like Instagram, so I know when I'm out there back at the home page, I know what size it is, because sometimes maybe the Facebook post looks similar to the Instagram one. So I'll sometimes put Instagram post, right? Okay. So again, we can also do rulers, guides, and margins here if we need to. That's fairly new. It's a fairly new update in Canva. We have save here. You shouldn't really ever need to save. It's automatically going to be saving all the time. And if it doesn't, and you're trying to move away, it will prompt you and say, are you sure you want to leave right now? And then you go, oh, shoot, it's not saved yet. But up here, you can see it says all changes saved. Next to this, this is the back button, okay? Or the,
yeah, I like that. If I do something wrong, I can just go back.
I usually just do Control Z to undo a lot. I do some keyboard stuff. So we've got this guy here, right? So I click on the background, and we're in templates here, and I can change the color to be on brand. Right? So that's why we set our brand kit up, so that we're now on brand. And I just click each of these and
easy.
Splits. What's so?
Sorry, can you say that again? We'd lost you there.
You could type. Okay.
Sorry, just go back from when you changed the colors.
Yeah, on the internet. Right. With temp, I will say that sometimes go a little bit when I'm doing stuff it's be me right. Templates, you could search up here, you know, if you wanted to type in Christmas. It's a little bit early, but here we go, Christmas, and we get some templates. So let's just put in, you know, here is my cool quote. I just clicked on the text box and I start typing, right? And let's by Thea, okay? Right, so I can search this and I could click, I don't know, maybe this one. And sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. So it's replaced the design that I just had there. What you're seeing now is the chicken wire, as I call it, and that means it is a paid for element. So if I wanted to use this particular design, I would need to go to photo, let's type, I don't know, Christmas again, right? And I could replace it. And then it's a free version. I can download it. So let me just do undo again. If I was wanting to do this one, right? Christmas, happy Christmas, right? If I went to upload up here, or sorry, download rather, if I click on it, it's telling me, uh-oh, you've got a premium image. And again, I get the option to do it for a one-time use. If I do the drop-down, I could do multi-use if I wanted to use it across my social media, my website, or the extended use. Well, I don't want to do that. So I'm going to just swap out, oops, not that one. Oops, not that one. I would swap out the photo, and that's a pro one as well. There we go. There we go. And now, let's see. My text is happy Christmas, right? Now, if I go to download at the top right, I can download it. I'm not getting the pay for bill. So don't get afraid if you see a template and it's, oh, it's a pro template, I can't use it. Yes, you can. You just have to swap out whatever the paid for element is. It might be a little graphic. It could be a bubble. It could be, you know, just some kind of element or some kind of text thing. Okay, does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, so if we go back to templates, and again, we could say, I don't know, New Year's, or if we could do summer, right? Summer, right? And it gives us a variety. So we go, oh, okay, I quite like that one. We just click it and either replace the current page or we can add a new page. Now that one is still here, and here's this one. Okay, so we haven't lost it. We haven't overwritten. To be honest, in some of these cases, in certain designs, particularly Facebook works well. If I would have clicked this in Facebook, it writes it, but it keeps my text. So for some reason, it's not doing it at Instagram today, which is just unlucky today for that. But again, everything you see here is customizable. So again, we could just replace the current page, and then you could see the chicken wire here. So I would just need to, you know, swap out the photos. That's a pro one, isn't it? No, that's free. And then I could download it. Again, I want to make sure I click on these little blue things and make them, of course, my pale color or my yellow color, right? Because we want to keep it all on brand. So again, this could maybe be the purple. And all I'm doing is clicking on the different things, and whether it's a squiggle or some text, and I can just change the colors to match my branding, okay? So you're getting, that's why I have our brand kit, okay? So again, with templates, it's fairly self-explanatory. Everything you see here is customizable. So say I didn't like the squiggle, to delete it, all I have to do is drag it off. I don't have to click delete. I don't have to, you know, use the trash can. There is a trash can at the top right, so I could do it that way, but I always just drag stuff off. Okay, everything, you can move it around, you can move the pictures, you can move the text, right? Everything is customizable. You can even, you know, tilt them. So I've got my picture here. I can tilt the picture. I can stretch the picture. So again, everything is customizable.
And you can put them in layers as well. You can sort of put one behind the other.
Exactly. I'll show that very much so when we get into the photo side of things. Absolutely. You can do many, many layers. So let's do Christmas. These are trending ones. Here's a nice free one. So there you go. And now we make this maybe our nice yellow. It's not very Christmassy, but again, and now we're seeing the font's quite light. So we either want to go to maybe our purple. So now we have more of the contrast and we can see it. Okay. So again, I could even just get rid of that or move it or anything. Okay, does that make sense? So everything is customizable. Again, I could even move the picture down, right? So, and then stretch it across or what have you.
So you're just going on the corner or the little things on the side to move?
Depending on what I'm doing. So if I'm moving this is cropping it, which again, I'll show when we get to pictures, but, or I can take the corner to make it bigger or smaller. So yeah, absolutely. Super easy peasy, right? That's kind of nice, right? And again, if I wanted the font to be bigger, I could just drag the corner up. Now we've kind of lost this, so we'll have to do a few tricks to show how that is. But again, we'll get to that when we get in the next kind of section. But for templates, that's all you do. You can search for colors of templates, right? So if you wanted purple templates, you
can know that.
Filters.
Good.
Okay, and you can, let's see, clear all. You can choose language. Of course, most of us are using English. But yeah, so that's what you could do. You could filter it out by type, by words. You could do, you know, blue flowers, right? And then you're getting variety. Some of these will have blue in them and have flowers. So if I click on the 3 dots, I can see what tags. So these tags say blue, white, quotes, and these are all clickable too. Instagram, newsroom, whatever. I can also see who created them, which is Marketplace Designers. So I could click that, and then I could see all the templates that come from Marketplace Designers.
Wow.
Super cool, huh? There we go. Yep.
We're going to need to watch this again and again to remember all this. This is great.
All right. There is a lot to it. Again, we just drag our picture in. Okay, so if we're done with templates, we'll move on to uploads. The moment, if we click upload under images, we have the option to pull in from Facebook, so we can connect our Facebook, which I've not really done because this is my dummy account. We can connect to Google Drive, which I have done, which I'll show you in a second, our Instagram. Now we can pull in a photo from Instagram, but we can't post to Instagram as you mentioned earlier. So we're gonna have to do something a little different with our Instagram, but you could pull up one of your Instagram photos in and then edit it. And you can also pull in from Dropbox, but let's pretend I want to upload something from my computer. So I did I think I just did a screenshot. Yeah, I did a screenshot with this here just to see. I'd shared a design with myself. So, and we'll click it. same for videos. We can upload our own videos by just clicking the uploads. This is always where I upload. Again, you could do it before you get into the editor as I showed you, but I always do it once I'm in a design. So again, uploads, same places. These are usually .mov or .mp4 videos that we upload. I won't try and upload just now a video particularly because it will hammer my connection and you'll lose all sound. But these are videos that I've previously uploaded. Okay, so hopefully no questions about the uploads there. Coming soon.
You can do videos. I didn't know that. So you
yeah,
can edit videos, make it look good, put it into some graphic.
Very cool. I'll show you some
on Facebook.
I'll show you some cool stuff later that I've done with that. I'll demonstrate how you can make some really cool videos when we get to the video part. It's super cool. So what is coming to, I believe, the pro accounts is audio, which is great because my background is radio. And in August of this year, I did some radio shows. So I just sampled the first, like my intro clip, and I made little teasers for my radio shows with just 30 seconds of audio and a little bit of random video, and just made like promos, which I think is really cool. To be honest, I'm surprised you will be able to do audio because I think people will be using, not royalty-free music, if you will, like, so that they won't have the publishing rights to do it. So, excuse me, I'm a little surprised, but that audio is coming as well. Okay. So photos, right? So again, I'm just dragging the stuff off my canvas to get rid of it because I want to start with a blank slate. Okay, so photos, give me something to photo. Should I do hats?
Yeah, let's try hats.
Okay, let's try hats. Now, I've tried in hats, right? There's a lot of hat photos. Do I want a square? Well, this is a square, so maybe I want to actually just do a square hat, and maybe I just want free hats. I don't know if there's going to be any. Oh, there's a few. So I've got some free hats, and they're in square for
or something.
Sorry?
If you clicked on pink, then you'd have pink hats, would you?
I can, yeah, totally. But I'm afraid that I'm going to have nothing. Let's see.
Okay.
Yeah, I was kind of afraid of that. So let's try it again. So photos, let's do clear all for a second. I'm going to do hats again, and that, and I'm actually going to I'm going to leave it on all, but I want free ones only. So now we've got a variety of hats. To get a picture into your canvas, there's two ways to do it, depending on what you want to do with it. So I could drag the hat to the edge, and it becomes part of the background. It's a little bit far over, so I can crop it by double clicking with my mouse and just move it over so it's now all in the picture. Okay, the other way to get it in the canvas is a single click while it's still on the left-hand side. Click, and now I can move it around. You see the difference? So the one in the background I can't move, the one in the foreground I can, and I could crop it or whatever. I could tilt it, I could do whatever I want with it. Okay, so those are the two ways to get pictures into, that's quite cute, into the design. So here we go. Then let's see, what do I want to do? I get the option under here to, well, let's start with effects. Okay, so with Canva free, there's a variety of effects that I could apply to these. Again, I get a bit weary doing it because it does hammer my internet connection, but I'll try and just do one. Okay, how's the sound? Is it okay?
Yeah.
Pink, let's make it a pink hat, right? So again, I could actually click it and I could play with the intensity. So I can maybe even lighten it up a little bit.
Right.
So maybe I just want a soft pink tint, okay? And then I hit apply. So, or what I could do is I could even click on it. If I knew my colors, remember my brand kit colors, if I had those to hand, I could type them in here, but I don't exactly remember what my brand color is, but let's pretend that that's it. So again, we could do that. If I did that, then it's going to cover up the whole painting, the whole picture, but I can play about with the colors here and play with the intensity. Okay. So just a nice little apply there. Okay. So that's one of the things. So color mix, if I want to see all the different versions.
Oh, we lost you then. Oops, we've lost you.
Click.
We lost you a bit there, Thea.
Are we back?
Yeah, back.
Okay. Yeah. So I stopped talking because I knew, yeah, it's saying it's my connection's unstable. So let's give it a second. That's why I don't really do the editing, because it does do that. But there's a variety of options here. There's even bad TV, liquify, all of these, the duotone, the color mix, the glitch, they're very on trend design for 2020, even started in 2019 and will be for 2021. So you can just jazz up your pictures a little bit with those filters. Okay, that's under effects. Filter here, we have 20 different filters, just like we do in Instagram. I always recommend, just like the fonts and just like our colors, you keep it to 2 or 3 filters that you use, okay? So I'm gonna go back to the photos. I'm gonna click on filter and none. It didn't do it. Okay, I'm gonna drag the picture back in again because I wanna start with a fresh picture, maybe even a different picture. Maybe, there were some sunflowers that I quite liked.
Yes, I saw those. They were nice.
Yeah, sunflowers.
We're not on hats now.
Yeah, yeah, we lost it, didn't we? Hats. There they are. Is that free? Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Oh,
there they are. Oh, it's girl with a hat. Good. Okay, so I'm going to delete the one in the background. Just clicked on it and hit the back on my keyboard. Right, so you are going to love this. Now I'm on page 2. I'm just going to move the page. There, above the canvas, there's some arrows up and arrows down. I'm going to move this to page 1. Okay, so she's page 1. And I click on her and I get adjust. Now what I want you to pay attention to is the filter code on the bottom left as I do stuff. So I'm going to add a bit of brightness and see the colors, the filter code's changing, right? I'm going to add a bit of contrast. I'm actually going to crank up the saturation deliberately just so we can really see that it's doing it. Blur, I'm going to actually not blur it. I'm going to go so it sharpens it, and X process. I'm deliberately making it kind of ugly, but there's a reason for it. I just want to show you. So, and then the vignette, we can make it darker around the edges. So that number down here, I can actually copy that number, right? And if I drag, let's just get, oh, there's one down here. No, yeah, there's a picture down here. No, let's drag a new picture in. Go back up. Let's see, where's the free, I want the free hats. Give me a free hat. Okay, cool. So which one would be nice? Oh, it's got some color in it. So here we've got one. I'm just going to stretch it so that we can really see the colors, right? And if I go to adjust and down to that bottom and I paste it in, it applies the same, all the same filters and adjustments that I made to the previous photo. Now, again, it's really ugly. I don't recommend you do it quite so intensely, but the idea is to keep your photos looking a little more consistent. But not to worry if you didn't follow that, because there's actually a newer, easier way to do it that I'm going to show you that's super exciting. Okay, so if I want to kind of get rid of that, I could go to filter and none, and there it is, back to normal.
Good, okay.
Okay, so here we are. The next thing we have after adjust is crop. So again, I could crop, take these corners, there's little corners here, crop it to right how I want it. There's the corner there. Right? So this is the second way to crop. I already shared earlier the first way to crop, and then I just click off it or hit done. The way I tend to crop is I double click and then crop it. So I don't tend to go up here and hit the word crop, but again, it depends on how your brain is wired. You may just get used to hitting crop. So the third way to crop, again, if I throw the photo back in, is just as you were saying earlier. Can you just take the corners? We can crop from the corners. So remember I said with Canva, there's many routes to get to the same destination. This is the third way to crop. And again, I can make it bigger or smaller or whatever. Okay, so let's just make it kind of small for a second. I can flip it. Flip it good. I can go the other way. So now it's going the other way, right? I can flip it vertical, which wouldn't make sense, but there you go. Let's throw in a couple of photos. In fact, yeah, let's shrink this photo, random photo. Let's see, let's kind of line it up so it's about the same size as the one above-ish. Okay, and let's just throw in one more. Same story. Now, this is where the fun begins. Let's just make it so it's lined up a bit better. So say I have all these photos, right? You were talking about kind of alignment, I think. So one thing that you are going to love, it's revolutionary, is grouping and ungrouping elements in Canva. So what that means is if I want all these, like I want to group all these together, I can hold my mouse down and just drag it and now they're grouped.
Ah, wow.
Okay, even better. On the far right, next to group, we have position, left,
Oh,
and vertical, and now they're equidistant.
oh my God.
Right? So isn't it revolutionary? This whole grouping thing is so cool, right? So I can not only group them, I can hit the word group and now they're group, and I could then maybe play with a transparency, which is next to the little paint roller, and I could play. So you get the little purple coming through, right? So
Sometimes if I put text on a photo and I want the photo to sort of disappear a bit, I'll do that and bring the text out. And then I can post that.
Exactly. So I'm going to ungroup these guys. Just click ungroup, right? And again, I can move them around and say I wanted them to be all lined across the top, whatever, equidistant. I just group them again. I go to position, I go to top, and I go to horizontally this time. No, they're not exactly the same size, but you get the idea. I'm going to make this guy just a little bit bigger. As I do, you see that there's a purple line that's come between the first two photos. This one doesn't seem to be lined up. Now it is. Okay, so now what else did I want to say to you? So, okay, so let's do our trusty, I'm going to apply that, remember I applied that adjustment. I'm going to change it again, put it back. So now you see that it's super bright. We've got the saturation up. I'll zoom in. Zoom in is down on the bottom right. I'm going to go up to 125 so you really can see it better like that. And I can actually close the drawer here on the left to give us more space. Okay, so over on the right, remember I mentioned the little roller ball, we passed right over him. That was intentional, but I can actually click on him and paste on her, and it applies the same filters. How cool is that, right? So that's the roller guide. That roller ball actually works with text as well. So it's super cool. Okay, so now I'm just gonna, I think I'm off the screen just a little bit. Let me just shrink my little.
So good to know, because sometimes I do things by mistake. I might have double clicked, not realized it did something, and then you know, later on I go, oh, that was good, and then I can't do it again because I didn't know how I did it. You have to learn all these things.
Wonderful. That's great. Good stuff. Okay, so again, these three, I can maybe shrink them, and over on the far right, I have a duplicate button. So I could duplicate, right? And then I could line them up, and then I just go back in, and let's just do hats again. And I'm going to do free hats again. Free. And this time, actually, I might do horizontal, because these are all horizontal photos, right? And then I would just drag it in.
Oh, brilliant.
And it's applying the same filter as above. So again, if I didn't want the filter, I could click on here, right? So click on here, go to filter and do none, and it takes it off again, okay? So you were talking about kind of layering of things, but yeah, we can layer pictures. So I can put this guy behind that guy, right? Position backwards, right? Now it's behind that one. So I have to hit backward again, and now it's behind the one above it. So this one, maybe I want it on top of the one below it. So I go position and I go forward, and now this one is behind. Now I haven't mentioned the lock button. So there's a padlock here. So if I wanted this guy to not move and I wanted to be able to move these guys around, I can lock that one in place. And honestly, the lock button is super handy. Okay, it really is. Because sometimes you're like, you're trying to get at something and it keeps getting in the way, but you can just lock it in place and then you can kind of get around it. Now, here's another pro tip. Okay, so if I wanted to get to, say, the one behind it, and for some reason, I'll show it to, I'll probably show it to you in a minute, but if for some reason I can't seem to get to that one thing you can do to circle through all the different elements on the canvas, if you hold your shift and the tab, it will click to each individual thing in the design. So if I want to get to that locked one, there it is, and now I can unlock it. Okay, shift and tab. It's a little pro tip. You find it useful at some point. You don't maybe not realize it yet, but at some point that'll come in handy. Okay, and then one other thing I wanted to show you. Okay, so I'm going to just stretch all these out a little bit, and I'm going to.
What do you do on Mac? Because I've got a Mac and I haven't got shift. What would shift?
Command. Oh, sorry. Shift is the arrow up. Arrow up is shift. You have it on the left side of your Mac keyboard. Shift and tab is two above it on the left-hand side. So if we want to, say we want to group all these two, right? I've just shrunk them a little bit, and say I want them all to be lined up to the left equidistant. Again, I could do my grouping, position, left, and vertically.
Whoa, that's good.
Yes, so good. Okay, so that's the photos. There's one last thing going to be super relevant to you guys. So say you're creating a flyer that you're sending to a potential client, and you've done, you know, maybe you want to send them to your website someplace or something. You can actually click on this, click on the chain link and go website, my website. I always do my website, mywebsite.com/ green hat. Right? Okay. And apply it. Now, this won't work in your social media. It won't work on your Facebook post. But if you're sending somebody maybe an A4 brochure or a trifold brochure or something as a PDF, or you're sending them a presentation, you're downloading it as a PowerPoint, or even sending them as a link to Canva, for instance, or something, the PDF or the presentation or the website, these are clickable links that you can make. Okay, so again, it won't work for your social media header. It won't work for your Facebook cover because that's going to be a PNG or a JPEG, but it will work for PDFs, which, you know, you guys probably do send brochures of some description or flyers or posters or something to clients. If you're sending them to them as a PDF, you can make them clickable links in your page.
And then take it back to the website. Take them back to the website.
Yeah,
could you do it in a newsletter as well? Oh, so you can do that anyway, can't you, in a newsletter?
You can do it in a newsletter anyway. Yes, you're right. So that's all the photos. Are there any more questions about the photos, or is that pretty self-explanatory? So we could type in metallic plus gold or something. Let's see what happens.
Or just thought, if you've got a press release you're sending to a magazine, then you could design a press release and then they click to go to your website. Yeah.
Perfect. You got it. You got it. So I typed up in here metallic plus gold, and I found some really super cool pictures. This is under photos, some glossy little golden pictures. So, you know, I think you like some goldy kind of feel to you, don't you? You like some squiggles or something. So those are pretty cool. Okay. So here we are. That's the photos. Again, the search is pretty good. So you could do brush stroke, right? Brush stroke, hit enter. And again, filter out for just the free stuff if you're on the free version. And there's some more here of these, right? So again, I might have my little website details down here, something. You could also search for maybe tape, right? Tape. Right? So you could have it look like it's kind of like a scrapbooky thing.
Oh, yeah.
Here, right? So you could do it, look as, you know, you could do, you could even do, let's do Polaroid.
Oh, yeah.
Right? And then we could do, again, make sure it's free. Is it free? Yeah, we got the free one. So we could we could then even put like, let's get rid of so this picture here, let's put her, if we click on it, we can move it forward, right? Forward, and we can actually line it up and curve the edges, and here.
In the Polaroid.
Isn't that cute? And then our tape, we put our tape here, but we need to move that so it's on front, right? So now it's like it's on a taped page. I'll make the background a bit darker so you can see a bit better. So there you go. Again, this little gray thing, I could pull that on top, forward and tilt it or something, so it just looks like, I don't know, random thing. You could also search for things like torn paper, or there's a bunch of things that you could be searching for here under photos. How cool is that though?
Right.
Okay, so photos we're done with, and we're going to move on to elements. Now, elements is the heart, the beating heart of Scotland, of Canva. So at the a Freudian slip there. Let me just take a sip of water. So for elements at the very top, we have recently used. I don't really need to show you that. Self-explanatory. I'm sure you can figure that one out, but we could click on see all and see all the things that I've used here. The next thing we have are featured. Now, feet are hand-drawn elements, and you've probably seen a lot of these. These days, they are so popular. So I click on her, and let's make the background a bit lighter this time, maybe. I'm going to make it maybe the yellow or something. Oh, that's she's popping now. But what's cool is I've clicked on her, and I can actually go in and make her purple hair, because she's got to be on brand, remember, right? We can make her skin color that color, or that's her shirt, I guess. So again, we can just maybe Ooh, no, she's too white. There we go. Now we need to change her color. Again, no, that one. Oof. Anyway, you can play about. You can see that we can play about with that. So the hand-drawn elements, they get updated every week, and you'll see that they're now giving you magic recommendations. So if you liked one, let's click on that, and you can now add several others. And you could, you could create a posse of some women just hanging out chatting, right? You could send her behind, and people are amazing. Like, look, they're having a little conversation here. And I like the roller skater. The roller skater just makes me smile. So she could be skating along in the background, right? Position backwards. I've seen people make amazing scenes out of just Canva elements. They're incredible. I'm amazed at how some people's minds work. Way more creative than mine. But you could just add a bunch of people and make a nice scene and then put some text above it or whatever. Okay, so those get updated every week, as I said, and we'll just click on the X to get out of that. The next thing we have are lines. Okay, I'm just gonna get rid of them. Lines, we have arrows, we have squiggles, we have, tape lines, we have heartbeat lines, we've got gold pieces here. Those are nice, aren't they? So you might have a little bit of this action going on, right? And one thing, well, I don't know if I want to try it. Yeah, let's try it. So one thing, remember how I showed you the duotone? Let's see what happens if we put duotone on it. So, has it hammered my connection, or can you hear me okay?
No, yeah.
Yeah, so we could even make it, I don't know, white, kind of a white, and this one kind of a white. So we could we can make it a nice silver one, or on brand. We could put our branding color in here. If we know our branding color, it's handy. Okay, so you can do lots of stuff with that kind of thing. So lines, let me give you the first shortcut of the day. The letter L on your keyboard, nothing else, just the letter L will bring up a line, right? Right, so I'm going to shrink this back down to 100 here for you so we can see our whole screen here. So this line actually is kind of fat. And so I've had people say, Thea, I can't find a thin line. Well, I'll tell you what, you can make this a thin line by dragging it. If I zoom in again, I can now go across and I zoom out, right? So if I needed to say I was making a document that I was sending to somebody, and maybe I wanted it to be a printable document. So you might send them, I don't know, one of your hat designs or something, and they're doing something to make something similar, some pattern or something, and maybe that you have notes that you want them to be able to write. Well, here's how you'd make a lined page. You just go duplicate, duplicate on the far right next to the trash can, duplicate a bunch of times, and then we drag this one to the bottom and make sure this one's at the top. And then what do? We do our trusty grouping. Group, and then we go vertically and left. No, I missed two of those. Okay, but anyway, you get the idea. So here's our lined page. Again, we can even group them and stretch them or make them smaller, and then we could duplicate again, right? And then again, we drag one down to the bottom and we group them and we do position, left and vertically.
Brilliant.
Isn't that cool? So again, I do a lot of journals and planners and things where I want people to be able to write notes in their diaries or whatever. So I always have blank line pages, and that's just how I make it. So again, you could actually do that with you could do the same thing if you wanted to do one of these. Actually, again, same story. If you wanted it a thinner one, there you go. And then the same thing, duplicate, and then just drag it down, group by just dragging it up, group, left, vertically. Okay.
Wow.
Yeah. So much. Okay, so that's lines, fairly self-explanatory. I like kind of some of these. These are kind of cool, like pow, or maybe something like the sunrise. Let's make that. Let's see. Let's put that as a black background so you can see it better. There you go. Yeah, and you can
logo on here. You can design all your leaflets and everything.
Absolutely anything you need to design.
Templates. You get quite a lot of sort of if you want a checklist or a certain PDF book called something, you can go to that, or a letter. You can find them already designed with lines.
Yes, so let's do that. So A4 letter, for instance, or you said checklist is kind of a good one. Let's try that.
Yeah,
Checklist.
I noticed those before.
Oh,
leaflet, you know, ready-made leaflet, isn't it? Oh yeah, some of the things that people do on Pinterest, and they'll get that one with all the text on it, the sort of week one, and then you can just change your text, obviously, but you get some with lines on.
absolutely. So you could either use one of their templates. Here's a good checklist here. So we could actually click that one and open it. And exactly, you click on anything and just change it to whatever you want. A hat day, you know, whatever.
Yeah, that's nice.
So again, and you can move them, make them on brand. You know, you can do anything. You could add a photo in here of in fact.
So it's already designed. You don't have to think about the designing, do you? Then you just put in your colors and change the text.
Exactly.
Image.
Exactly. So I'm going to get to the kind of templates that I was recommending earlier in a second, but we're on elements and lines. And then we have shapes next, which really in theory, the shapes could have been with lines, but they've separated them. So with shapes, you see we've got a circle, we've got triangles, pentagons, hearts, we've got hollowed out ones, right? Good. So it's come in and it's on, again, I drag it in here, and then I might go position, center, and middle. Perfect. Now it's in there. I could click on a circle. Now it's in here. I could do the same thing, center and middle. So there's a few shortcuts that I want to share with you. One, the letter C for circle. So if we drag this off for a second, just the letter C, just like the L, C is circle, right? Again, here. And I can line it up this way, and then I get it right in the center. And the letter R is a rectangle, right? But because this is a square canvas, it's giving, as this Instagram, it's giving us a square. But as I was saying earlier, I recommend that you have your logo always sort of down here. So let's pretend our logo is just this star for today. We got to change the color so you guys can see it. Right? So I would always recommend that you've got your everything on brand right there. And then, so I've given you the L, and I've given you the R, and I've given you the C. There's one last shortcut that's super important, is the letter T. We're going to actually cover text in a second, but the T comes up, but I always go website.
Is it something then T, like shift?
Nope, just the letter T. These are all just the letters. So website.com, right? And say my social media, I'm just going to copy this, and we're going to call it I'm just going to put @handle. So we'll pretend that that's my handle, whatever it is, handle, right? So again, I can line these guys up so that they're horizontally and middle. So now they're kind of equidistant here. And this is kind of the template that I would recommend that you set up for each of your different channels, for your Facebook, for your Instagram. If you do stories, you have one for post and one for stories, right? In the pro version, I could just click, file, magic resize, and it will open up a story size, or it will open up a LinkedIn size, or a Twitter post, or whatever. But we don't have that in the free version. So I'm giving you the backdoor way to do it now. So once you've made one that you really like, so let's pretend, so do we want this to be my, I don't know, Facebook or something? Elements in Facebook. Let's pretend it's my Facebook. And I'm just going to find that one. That will be good. And I'm going to make it on brand. So here is my template, right? I mean, this looks really bad, but you would make it look super nice. But what you can do, remember we've talked about grouping, is I can hold my mouse over here, drag all three of these, and do my Command C or Control C and copy it. And I can go over to, let's see, what do we have open here? Our new checklist, right? Let's just get rid of this. We wouldn't necessarily do it on a checklist, but pretend this is an Instagram story, for instance. And if I do paste, and here it is. And then I can go and I could say, go back to, let's see, let's just do one of these out. Looks like a Facebook one. Right? Nope. And here's my Facebook template, right? I'm going to name it Facebook template. Okay, Facebook template, whatever. So the idea, why am I suggesting you do this? The idea is that what, excuse me.
Okay.
Oh, so sorry. The idea of doing these templates is that, again, if you've made them all quite nice and then you open up, say, your Instagram, you want to share to Instagram, to stories or to your posts, you've already got the kind of design in, and you can just open up, swap out the photo or swap out the quote or whatever, and then just share it straight from your phone. Or tomorrow I come back in and I want to create a new post. So this is my post for, for Saturday. And I can just copy the page at the top right of the little happy face. I'm going to clear my throat. So hold on one sec, because it's going to be loud. I'm so sorry. So here's page 2, right? So I click on page 2. And again, well, not that image. So we'll just swap out the photo, right? And then again, if it should have actually kept the handle there, but the idea is that now I've got the next days, and for the next day, if I copy the page and then I swap out the photo the next day, oops, didn't drag in there. Then I've got another one. And if I click down here on the bottom right, I've got a variety of pages open here. You can see they're all branded. And so I would create, if you do quotes, for instance, maybe you have a really nice style quote, or you have testimonials from your clients that love their hats, right? So you could just swap out the maybe a picture of the hat and the testimonial from the client, and you say that that's what this one is. You copy it, and the next day you come in and you change the picture and the quote, and it takes seconds. So once you've created these templates across the various channels you're on, you're golden. You don't need to kind of worry too much about going in and playing with the templates, because you've already kind of got your own. And we're all so busy, and we all have such limited time where we're looking to do time saving. Okay.
And can you download just one of them without having to download all of them?
Thank you
I struggle with that.
Thank you for asking. That's a perfect question. Click download button, and I just go, oh, I just want page 3, and I do done, and it's going to do it as a PNG. If I want it as for my website, I'm going to go JPEG, because JPEGs are a bit smaller, so they load a bit faster, and Google pays attention to things like that. So I might choose JPEG, and I could just do the one. If I didn't choose, like you do, it will download all of the pages as a zip file, and then they won't have any names. But here, I could name like national quote or something. I can name each design right here. Here's number 2, right? Or Friday or whatever 2. So you can name each of these, but if you download all of them as a zip, it just comes up as image 1, image 2, which is really bad. A lot of us have complained because it's bad for SEO, and we have to go in and rename them once we've downloaded if it's for websites. But so that was a great question. Yes. And I could actually publish straight to Facebook from here. I don't even have to download it. I just connect my page. Wow. And I could share straight from here. If I have the pro version, I can even schedule posts for the next year from here. So no downloading is required. You just share it. Okay. So I'm going to get to the next bit that I'm going to get to is one of the most exciting things. It's mind blowing. I don't think I'm underestimating or underselling that. But shapes, that self-explanatory, right? You could type in pentagon, right? And just do pentagon, and then you're going to get some pentagons. Again, I can filter out and just get the free ones and do free. Okay. So that's shapes. No questions about shapes. Have we covered shapes? Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah. The next, I'm sure our timing is, we've gone for a while, but this is the most amazing bit that is going to be mind blowing. So frames, anytime you see the cloud and the field, a picture will slot into it, but not only a picture, but a video. Not only a video, but you can do the third thing you can do with these. So let's just throw a photo in. I'll do videos at the very end because it really will hammer my connection. So I could have a nice picture in the background. Let's make it, I don't know, peach, so you can kind of see it. So we've got our little computer. But if I go back to frames, right, I could also show like, oh, here's how my site looks on mobile, right? So here's how.
Yeah, like you did for us.
Exactly. So we could put, let's do that. Let's go upload here. I could just drag in my picture here, and a picture here. We want to make sure we can see the hats. Probably not the best design for that, but I'll do it again in a second. But what's also cool is, if we go back to the frames, is, so the third thing, so again, you could put pictures in, you could put videos in, but the third thing is you could actually just click on it and make it a solid color, right? So there's 3 things that we could do. So what if I actually hit duplicate, right? And then I go to photos and I'm going to go to hats again. Let's keep the hats, and free hat. Oh, that's a free hat, right? So there's, now I've got this, and I could have it like a shadow effect, right? So I could do something like that, right? So I'm playing with shapes and frames here, okay? So they are so incredibly versatile. So in theory, I could actually do, you know, 1, 2, 3, right? Move them again, do my grouping, right? I could do position, top, and horizontal, and then I could throw in 3 different videos, right? And have 3 different videos playing in a video, right? So you could have some cool like designs, right? Okay, so I'll come to videos in a second, but that's the frames. And again, all that, but watch this, super cool, right? So we go A, and go H, and we go T, right? Okay, so we got a T there, and we got an H there. We're going to group them. We're going to shrink them just a little bit, right? And again, we want to sort of spread them out. And then again, position, top, horizontal, so they're equidistant. And then we could, now I don't think I have one of yours that is going to be, could be. I was going to try and put one of your hats across all 3, but we could do, oops. Put one in here, double click on her, move her over, right? One in here, right? And there you go. Again, we want to make sure we're getting as much as we can, right? And again, the same for the last one, right? So again, if I had another picture, I could do that, but you get the idea. But I could also put, if I had a nice big rectangle one, friends, watch this. So with one of your photos, one of your big landscape photos, let's see if we can get a nice, that's why I want free hats once again. Right, free, apply filters. Let's just do this one for our intents and purposes here. Okay, we could do, oops, do that. But what we could do is double click on it, stretch it, so that she kind of goes, oops, goes across. Didn't quite do it. I want it to go across all 3. Might need to move them a bit closer together. Same with the middle one, stretch it, and then we line it up, and we want it to go across all 3. So again, I have to just make sure I'm doing that. And the same for the third one. Okay, so that's frames. Like, how cool are the frames, right? Okay, or if I wanted to, I could just, again, I could just have the color if I wanted to, right? So you could have part color. You could also throw a video in there because they work in the letters as well. Wow. So, okay, so I thought you would like that. So that's the frames. Again, there's numbers and there's a few more frames there. Okay, but anytime you see the cloud in the field, a picture will go into it. Okay, the next thing are the stickers, which I'm going to avoid. You can figure the stickers out yourself, but because they're animated, they kill my internet connection. Charts, again, fairly self-explanatory, so I won't really, I'll just show you that there are a variety of charts, pie charts, graph charts, etc., many of which you can change the colors and add some text to change the elements. But the next area are the grids. Now, the grids, again, cloud and fields means what? A picture, a video, or a solid color will go into it. So I never really understood that the grids were so versatile. So again, I go to photos, I drag a picture in, go back to my grids. Maybe I do this 3 one, but what I didn't understand is that I could do this 3 and I could move that there, right? So again, I can change however big I want it. I can make it big, small, whatever. And I just never really understood that. And again, the pictures will go in, the videos will go in, or I can click on, say, the middle one and make it a solid color. Okay, so again, you could layer multiple layers of these the grids on it. Okay, so here, small, right, and again, pictures or videos. So I would just go over. I will try and throw. Well, maybe I won't actually. I will go to my uploads, video, and throw a video. I want you to hear the music. Okay. So again, in this design, isn't that kind of fun? So
Yeah.
pictures, videos, and solids. So those are under elements and they're called grids. And so here's just a fun little, let's just make let's do TV screen. Let's try and do a TV screen and do free. Wrong, was my bad, excuse me. Photos and TV or TV. Okay. Okay. Okay, got that?
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, good.
Okay. Okay, we're going to go to grids. We're going to use our trusty square. And we're going to place him.
I'm going to do that. Wow.
There you go. And so now we can throw in any of our own. Let's see, let's go to our uploads. Let's go back to images. Again, so what we could do with this one, so what we could do, maybe we could do something like this, right? So let's do, in fact, if we do that and we hit copy, right? So let's see if we can slot that one in there, right? And then we do the other one. So there you go.
And you could put a video in there?
Video in there. So if we copy that and then we get rid of this and do this, and for some, there's my video. It wasn't showing. Okay, it may hammer my connection, but here we go. Cool.
Wow.
Okay, so isn't that fun? Okay, so
this could be a Facebook ad. You could have a Facebook ad that looks like this.
Absolutely.
Telling you about
So what we have here is, because we've got all these pages, it's a bit of gobbledygook, to be honest with you. Let's get rid of that one. But if I preview this, you can see up at the top right, it says 44 seconds. So right now, this is a 44-second video. And if I wanted to make it a bit shorter, so say the first page, I could click on animate, and I can maybe have it be 3 seconds or 2 seconds, because I don't really want this one to show too long, right? Let's just have this be our video, right? The next page, I can, again, I need to get rid of this for a second. I need to get to the background. If I click on the second one, I can make this 3 seconds, right? Or 2 seconds or a half a second or whatever. And then this
video.
And then this video is 29 seconds. But if I click on the scissors, I can edit the video as to however long I want it. So maybe I only want 10 seconds or 4 seconds, right? And I can picture wherever I want to start it, right? I could do another one, and we throw in a different video, and 4. Done. So now I have a 17-second video. So you could go all the way up to 100 pages in Canva. So if you're somebody that really likes to plan their content ahead for the next, however many weeks or months or whatever, you could make all of them. You could literally spend, a few hours and get all of your content ready for the next quarter, for the rest of the quarter or something, the rest of the year, whatever. Or you could make these videos. I wanted to show you an example of a video I did using what I call typewriter video. This, 1 second. Okay, it has a bit of music on it. How's the sound? Is it okay?
Yeah.
So if I click this, I may. So what you can do is if I show you how that is built, one letter at a time. So you could have one hat, a different hat, another hat, another hat. You could have some text in the middle, and you could set it so that it's 1 second. You could have 100 hats. Like you could have, you could make, 50 cool hats for winter or something, whatever. And you could have a different one and set it to half a second each or something like that. So it's just boom, 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 right? So there's so much you can do. You are limitless possibilities with Canva.
And you're making your own video then to put on Facebook, which it just plays as a video, and you've done it all as separate images.
Exactly. And you could mix, like you said, text, pictures, and videos. So you could have a model going, like you have a picture of the hat, and then the next slide could be somebody wearing the hat going, or whatever. So you could just, again, possibilities are limitless. I'll put in the presentation a link to one of the girls that makes amazing Canva videos. And every time she does it, she's called I Can Canva, and she's in Israel. And she is probably the best, almost the best Canva designer there is in terms of video. She's incredible. So there's just literally, it's limitless.
You have a massive file for that. If you really download it.
It's not massive, not really. Let me see if I can.
It would just be video size, and it's okay to then upload to Facebook again.
Exactly. So I've got several on my Instagram, which is just all Thea's things. And I've made quite a few videos that, showing the examples of what I've done here, if you want to check those out. So here we are back we've covered the elements, most part. I think you're just going to love. And then the last thing kind of really is gradients. Okay. So again, gradients are super, super popular. That's all of the elements, really. That's the major part. And then the last thing to really talk about is text, because that's obviously very important. So I'm just going to go, like you said, Instagram story, and I'll show you some text tricks. Instagram story, which is convenient because it's the same as Facebook story. Okay, they're the same size, which is great. And by the way, apparently they're the same as WhatsApp stories. So
again,
Facebook. There's WhatsApp story.
WhatsApp,
Facebook,
story.
Instagram, and
God, I didn't know what.
Who knew? Exactly. So again, bizarre. And they're right there in the home. Go to the next one right here. Apparently it's a big thing. Anyway, moving on. So we're here with text. I gave you the letter T for shortcut, but if you like to take the long way home like Supertramp, you could go over to text, click on add a heading, click on add a sub.
What I do.
Right? So now you don't need to do it anymore. You can do it the other way, but sometimes it's kind of cool to go and look. What they're great at is font pairings. And again, for your designs, I would like you to keep to the same 2 or 3 fonts in everything that you do for that consistency and professionalism. But if you're making something kind of for fun, something different, or we flyer something that didn't need to be on brand, you could come and see what fonts that they pair. And they have some cool fonts, like there's some neon ones here, right? There's Boo, which is good for Halloween, right? There are, as I scroll down, they have some nice kind of scripty fonts. Again, I never really used them because I didn't really understand. I'm like, oh, well, I want Charlie and Kate to be below it. I didn't understand grouping, which is, if I click on this, it's grouped, right? So to make it bigger or smaller, but I didn't understand. All I needed to do was click ungroup, and then I can move stuff around.
See, me neither.
Yeah, for the longest time, I didn't know that. It's a whole new world when you learn this stuff. So text-wise, we can search for bold, right? Or light, or script, or whatever. And then here, and then we get a variety of ones here. So again, we can type in and we get, say, there's a free one. We could do this one. That's kind of a funky little script. I kind of like that one, actually. So what we can do is we can go here like the Microsoft way. We can go, oh, I want it to be bigger or smaller or whatever. But again, I always just make it bigger or smaller by grabbing the corner. The next thing we can do, we can make it bold. We can change the color by clicking on under the letter A, make it on brand. We can make it underlined, which we don't really want to do unless it's an actual link. We can align left, right, center, and justified. We can make it all uppercase or not. We can do bullet points. We can do numbers. We can play with the letter spacing, and
Ooh,
we can play with the line spacing.
wow.
Exactly. I wanted to make sure we covered text because it's super important,
Can
obviously. I
you
mean,
change, say I've got that engaged text and I'm like,
yeah,
oh, I like that. Oh, actually, no, I want to change my mind. But I've already written the word. So can I highlight it and then change it to a
yeah,
different?
to anything. Yeah, anything.
I've
Yeah.
never been able to do that. I always have to do it again. Oh,
No, you just
okay.
just click on it. Make sure it's highlighted though, and then it can go on to anything. Yeah. And let's do script again because we want it script, right? Or
Yeah.
script. Okay, so there's a chicken script one or something. If I wanted, say, here's my purple one up here. Again, I can apply some effects to it. There's 5 or so effects that we can apply to it, right? But over on the top right, I can do my roller ball, and then I can apply it. It's going to keep the same color, the same text, the spacing between it.
Oh
Again,
my God.
so here's this one. I can copy the style for the one below it, and now they're the same. Okay. Now, what else can I do? Well, we want to align left. We're going to align. That's a line left. That's a line left. That's not a line left. Again, we could do our trusty grouping, position. We could do center, and we could do or left, and then we could do vertically.
Mm.
Okay, so lots that we can do with that. So again, you were talking about photos and pictures, right? And having some text over it, right? Let's see, let's do the tall one. Hold on. So again, we maybe want to, we want to make our text stand out. So there's a few things we could do. We can make this one lighter for one. Now it's going to stand out. That one's okay there. Black is sort of okay, but maybe we want it white. We could play with the transparency, right? So we can play with that, or if click on engaged, play with the transparency a little bit, right? So we can do different things, or we can use our trusty letter R. Oops, click off it, letter R, and then we could put a little bit of color behind it. And then again, maybe we want to use the R across the whole thing and play with the transparency.
And I can also do the transparency on the photo to make that less.
That's the other thing you could do. Absolutely. Absolutely. So yeah, you could click on it, play with the transparency, and there you go. And now our text is standing out above it. Okay, so text, that's a lot of things we can do. We can also make it again a link to our website if it's a brochure or something. And we can, let's just shrink this guy up. Let's
put a link on it as well. So if I'm sending that as a
PDF
thing, and I can say click here for more.
Exactly. So you would just click on the link, and then you'd go my website .com whatever .com/heading, because it's add a heading or click here or whatever, and now it's a link.
Wow.
Okay, and what else? So again, I can duplicate and whatever. I can get rid of these. And
that's really true. So that's a link that I can then download the whole thing, upload it again to an email, and it will still be a link.
Exactly.
I can't believe that it will be.
That's awesome, isn't it? So left and vertically, and again, they're there. And then, so for the presentation I made for you, where is it here? If we scroll down to the end, these are all separate links. So I'll send this to you as a PDF, but I'll also have it as a link to the website here on Canva. It's a website here that stays on Canva, and the same sort of thing applies. You could just click the links. These are all links to Canva's apps, print, icons, which is one I didn't even know about till this week. See what I mean? Like, we're all always learning. Learn, speaking of learn, there's some tutorial here. And I have a bunch of recommended links as well to kind of get you started. I have tutorials. Where is my tutorials? Tutorials. Where am I? Anyway, I have tutorials where I add to my tutorials every other day practically. So I have anything that I come across, I think, wow, that's really helpful. I add it to my YouTube tutorials playlist, and I have a link to that. Wow. So yeah, those are all links. Yes. And there's the shortcuts. Okay, so I think we've kind of covered most of, enough to kind of get people started. And then when we do the Q&A after people have had a bit of a play, then they can ask specific questions. Mm-hmm. Do you agree? Is there anything that you feel like, oh, I wish you would have covered this? Or what do you think?
No, I think that's amazing. Really, really good tips there and really good tricks. And think that just as long as people remember, they can apply this to anything. So you haven't gone over like Facebook and leaflets and blah, blah, blah. Because you can, all these tricks that you've told them, they can do it in anything. If they want to do a lookbook, they do that. If they want to do a letter, they just pick letters.
You know what you know what you guys might like? What if you type in magazine? You could make kind of a mock magazine, right? And
really good PDF actually as well. It's nice as a newsletter. Yeah, as a newsletter or as a press release. Nice.
Exactly. So you do something like this. And so to add a new page, so it's got a couple of pages here already. If I click down here, you can see all the pages. So I could be sending people something like a little magazine that I've made of my hat designs and shows that I'm going to be at, or customers, you know, testimonials and that kind of thing. But you're right. Everything that I've shown you will work across any sort of canvas size that you're talking about. So for your blogs, for your social media, and you mentioned, you know, logos, you could go back here and you could type in, oh, I need a logo, right? Mm-hmm. And then you've got logo options. Same thing applies. You could swap out this photo here and change the text to your brand name, put your own hat, you know, whatever. So everything is customizable. And what I've showed you is the same across every channel.
Brilliant. Thank you so much. That's amazing.
You're welcome. It was absolutely my pleasure. I'm really looking forward to seeing y'all later. And again, I have a link to a private Facebook group that's only for people that have had training with me or watched my training in a sense. So it's only people that do that. So nobody else is allowed in. And that's a place where people have questions even later on down the road that they could say, oh, how do I do this? Or can you help me do this? Or what do you recommend? Or I'm having trouble. And either I can create a little mini tutorial for a minute or two long to show you how to do something. Or also what people often do is share the design with me and say, look, here's the design, help, and I can help fix it. So I'm really here for aftercare. Like I say, eat, sleep, drink, and dream in Canva.
Thank you. So if anybody wants to learn more, obviously that, but they want to do another course with you, then they'll find out about that in the Facebook group. Thanks.
Yes, and I have a link at the end of the presentation if anybody wants to book one-to-one, or if a couple people want to get together to book a session, then that's fine too.
Oh, that's great. Brilliant.
Perfect.
And one lady, I remember one lady did had a hat that she cut out on a white background, and that's in Pro though, isn't it? That's Pro Canva.
Yes, but so there's a site called remove.bg where if you take your own hat and go there, so if we go to it, remove.
Patch shop then for a shopping page, in case anyone's wondering, it's just a hat so that you cut out your hat and put it on a white background, so that, and then press or can easily put that into their shopping pages.
Exactly.
That's it. Remove image background. Fabulous.
So remove.bg, if you have the pro version, of course, you can do that. And I was going to just show you for Instagram, it is I Can Canva. So I want to just quickly show you one last thing before we go. So she does, it's amazing. She only has 267 followers at the moment. But so let me do this one first. Take my sound so you can hear it. Oh, shoot. Never mind. You guys can look at these two videos are both amazing. It wants me to log in, but I'm in my incognito browser, so it's not letting me. But she is I Can Canva.
Okay. And
she does great videos. I'm just in awe of some of the things that she does. Again, we're all always learning. So, you know, have fun.
Thank you. I can't wait to see what everyone comes up with and just have a go. And all you guys, if you please put it into the Facebook group, if you make anything, and show us, and we can tell you what we think and then help you in any way in the Facebook group, do that. And then we're going to have our Q&A at the end of the month. And you're going to come on and answer any questions, aren't you? So that's great.
Super excited.
Everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Thea.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.